So, y'all, I was just sitting here and I was thinking, like, hmm, what's an anime that I watched and, like, start to finish multiple times and it still, still disappointed me so badly? And for me, that anime would have to be Death Note. Now, before y'all get to clicking, before y'all get in the comments, just stick around and hear me out. And let's jump right on into the video. So we have all seen Death Note. And if you haven't seen Death Note, Death Note is an anime that follows teenager Light Yagami, and he basically, okay, I'm not even gonna be nice about this. Light was a psychopath. Light was not the good guy. Light was an angsty teenager that just so happened to come across a Death Note, and he did not deserve that. He needed to be in a padded room. That's where Light needed to be. He was not a hero. He wasn't the good guy. He was worse than the villains. He wasn't who he thought he was. And I really wonder who put it in his mind that he was. He just so happened to be at the right place for him, wrong place and time for everyone else. So if you haven't seen Death Note, it's more of a mystery, definitely suspense kind of anime. Basically, like I said, we have our lead, Light Yagami, follows him, and he comes across this book called the Death Note. Now, the Death Note is not supposed to fall into the hands of humans, and if you keep watching this show, you will see why. But he stumbles across it and he has this brilliant idea, like, oh, I can get rid of all the evil in the world. And when you first hear this, you're like, oh, he's one of the good guys. No, he is a psychopath. And the lengths in which to where he went to do the things that he did, it was just utterly insane. Let's kind of talk about the things that I really, at least for me, made me like, I really don't like this, and I kind of feel like it was a waste of my time. One, L died. There's literally no other way that I can put it. L died. Like, he was a specific type of genius and a specific type of smart to figure this out. And because he had figured it out, but because he didn't have the evidence to back it up, he then died. He played a dangerous game with a psycho, and ultimately he was the one that lost. And after that, the show just wasn't, and even in the manga, like, it just wasn't, it's just very much lackluster. It did not keep me, on edge like the show had before. It didn't keep me going. It didn't keep me excited. It was just kind of like, I'm just really pretty much like sticking around for the ending. And the ending in the anime to me was also lackluster, but the ending in the manga was to me better. I feel like it was still a little bit more than what Light deserved, but I feel like it was still one that was better suited for him. The way Light was manipulating people, and he wasn't even like the smartest person ever. Like, they were trying to pass this kid off as if like he was some kind of genius, but I don't think that he was a genius. I think that he was just the smartest person in the room amongst like semi-average people. And there's gonna be people to argue and be like, oh, well, he was just as smart as L Ryuzaki, whatever you want to call him. But it's like, was he really though? Because let's look at a couple of things. One, they literally figured out same day that they were doing the investigation that that Kira Light's alias. They figured that out literally the same day. Because what does he do? He unalives one of the inmates with the death note, because the whole purpose of this book is that you can unalive people if you write down their names, and then of course there's like a set of rules, and I'll put those rules like right here. I'm gonna put these rules right here, some of them, because there's a lot. And of course, like, there's rules and regulations and stuff that come with the note for, you know, the notebook itself and the user. But he unalives a person in Japan. If you were that smart, you wouldn't have made that kind of mistake. I'm just saying. You wouldn't have made that kind of mistake. And then he wanted to be in such close proximity to Elle. Like, why would you want to be that close to the person that is essentially trying to capture you and put you under the prison? Like, why would you do that? And the people that he chose to manipulate, most of them were women. And if I remember correctly, like early on, they were saying that Kira was a man. And at one point he was trying to throw their trail off, like that Kira could potentially be a woman, but they were like, no, Kira's a man. You are using and manipulating these women, and you're not doing anything but furthering their proof. Like, you're pretty much like leading them right to you. And that's exactly what happened. Like, Elle knew who he was, Ryuzaki knew who he was, but ultimately, because he wanted this game to go out as long as possible, because he liked the chase. And then I even seen like a couple of comments of people saying, you know, he wanted a friend or something like that. Elle had great chemistry with Misa. Like, if he wanted a friend, I think Misa would have been his friend. I do, however, think that he liked the chase when it came to the the Light Kira situation. As much as I love Misa, as much as I love Misa, it kind of bothered me that she was the only one that got something out of the ending. Now let me explain. I'm not saying that Light should have gotten a good ending. I'm not saying that at all. And this was before Misa unalived herself. This was before then. However, I kind of wish that the other people that he manipulated along the way, like, what was that? There was like a girl that he dated in college that he like manipulated and stuff. I just wish that those people also kind of gotten a better end of the bargain instead of being truly the scapegoats that they were. But she was the only one that kind of like got something out of it. And then there was the one Shinigami that we learned about that sacrificed himself for her, and then she ended up getting his years. And then Rim ended up doing the same thing, where she wrote someone's name in the death note to help her out, and then she got her years. Like, and I was just like, Misa was the only one that had a good ending, at least in our eyes. Herself, she didn't, because she was so in love with Light, and that in itself was really weird to me, because I'm like, girl, he could care less about you. Like, he couldn't care to give you the time of day. But I just kind of wish that more people kind of came out of that a little bit better besides Misa. We knew that Light was eventually going to perish. Like, we knew that he was going to, like, we knew that from jump. And I think that the only thing that surprised me was the fact that they let this whole thing go on as long as it did. Because, like, they let him on the police force. I'm still baffled that they let that maniac become a police officer. I am still just so baffled by that, because of all people. And what's so crazy is that they still allowed him to become a police officer even after it was known that he was suspected of being Kira. Like, that was just so crazy to me. So I just feel like, in a lot of ways, Death Note was kind of a waste of time after the Elle situation. After Elle had passed, after, you know, he was gone. And then of course they bring in Nier, but Near was trying to get that open and shut. Near was not doing no cat and mouse. And I know a lot of people don't like Near, but I think that was just because Near wanted to come in and get the job done. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, he was not playing around. And I respected it. Definitely respected it. But again, it was just boring. Like, the whole thing was just, it was just so boring after L. And it really wasn't, because I know a lot of people like to make the argument of like, oh, it was a show testing like wits, like who had the better wits and stuff. But it's like, it wasn't. It was an above average man and a genius level man both making dumb decisions together in the sense of trying to outsmart one another. But ultimately, in the end, they were both kind of dumb. Like, they both made decisions that caught them up, and it just wasn't it. And honestly, I kind of wish that the show went a different kind of route. Me personally, I'm more of a Code Geass girl. I love Lelouch down. I think that the way that Lelouch did everything was great. Lelouch is actually a genius, and his plans went through, way better than how Light had everything planned out. And you know what? That might actually be really, really fun to talk about the differences, like the side-by-side differences between Light Yagami and Lelouch v. Britannia. I think that would be that. I'm going to put a pin in that. So if y'all see that later, y'all seen it here first. But do I still watch Death Note at least once a year just because I like to find new things and whatnot about it? Absolutely. But it's like, the more I watch it, the more it's still just kind of, it's like that lingering disappointment, because there are just some elements of things that could have been so much better. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with the ending all too much. I really, really, really wish that it would have been different. I wish that there were different decisions that would have been made better. And also, we have to talk about too, like, some of the rules in the Death Note and how Light, in a sense, I will say that was one of the ways that I feel like he kind of showed his genius, was when it came to what he did essentially, like, with the Death Note. But it just shouldn't have been in his hands. He just should have never had it. I don't see Light as a genius. I just see him as a maniac with a pen and paper that just so happens to unalive people. But that's it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. And I'm doing like shorter formatted videos right now. If you guys want something longer, please let me know. And if you want something longer, comment and let me know how much longer, because I'm definitely down to sit here and talk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour about whatever it is. You guys know I love talking to you. I love engaging with you, and I love my little community. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.